Hey folks, this is Jake Davis with a wrestling recap for you tonight, and I'm going to try to talk about TLC 2020 really fast because these kids aren't going to give me much time. Okay, the opening match was Drew McIntyre defending the WWE title against AJ Styles in a TLC match. First time these two have ever fought. A lot of awesome spots over here. I love the bit where Drew McIntyre does a vertical suplex with a ladder onto AJ Styles. I mean, he suplexes a ladder. He suplexes the ladder onto Styles. That was great. He does a gorilla press slam to the outside, putting AJ to a table. It looks like it's over, but then Miz and Morrison hit the ring. They knock Drew off the ladder. And the Miz cashes in his Money in the Bank, making it an official triple threat match. He almost gets it, but almost. That big, scary bodyguard of AJ Styles stops him again, throws a Miz to a table. John Morrison grabs a chair, he hits almost with it. The chair explodes like it's a crash test dummy toy. And almost chases John Morrison back up the ring, and now back up the ring, up the ramp, and out of the arena, leaving it down to the three guys. There's a lot of match gets really intense from here. Actually, my favorite match of the night was the opening match. Especially after it's made triple threat, it's really tense. It looks at multiple times that all three guys could possibly win it. Eventually, it's Miz and Styles in either end of one ladder, or the second ladder on the side. Drew pushes the ladder, the empty ladder, into the other ladder, knocking the two guys, and climbs the empty ladder to grab the title and retain the championship. I would love to have seen him actually do just the hell with it. You know, they could do editing. They got this fucking empty arena crap. Just go for it. Should hit the Claymore on the ladder to knock it over to get him one. Otherwise, yeah, this was a great match. Even though I gotta complain a little bit about this being another write-off, just a total write-off year for the Money in the Bank contract. You know, Asuka won just to be kind of flip around. It's like, no, the women's match was actually for the championship because Becky's leaving, and then Otis to win just to give it by not even climbing the ladder, wins the ladder match. And then loses the contract to the Miz just for the Miz to fail his cash in. So why even have a Money in the Bank next year, in all honesty? Next up is the SmackDown Women's Championship. Sasha Banks defends against Carmella. I like the new gimmick they're doing, Carmella. I think it was too early to put her in a championship because I kind of, you know, she's obvious. They don't want to get the belt off Sasha yet, and it sucks that she lost her first big match. Other than that, yeah, it was terrific. There was a lot of really good near falls. It really built Carmella up here good to make her look like definite future dominant star. Great spot here where Sasha goes for a tilt-a-whirl spit backbreaker. Carmella reverses it, lands on her feet, and just hits a devastating X Factor for a hellacious near fall. Finish comes, of course, Sasha Banks gets the bank statement. Carmella taps, retains the title. Good match. Really was a much better match than I was expecting. Up next was for the Raw Tag Team Championships. The New Day defending against the Hurt Business. Excuse me. With MVP in their corner, Hurt Business representatives in this match, of course, being Shelton Benjamin and Cedric Alexander. This is a little bit too much a situation of diminishing returns. These guys have fought each other pretty much every week for the last 2 fucking months. And yeah, I'm sick of seeing this combo, but I'm glad that the finish here is, you know, Cedric. Oh man, Shelton hits a pay dirt absolutely nowhere on Kofi, which was one of the biggest pops of the whole show for me. Hits a wonderful springboard into superplex on the Kofi. Cedric blind tags himself in, hits the lumbar check, pins Kofi Kingston, and the Hurt Business are the new Raw Tag Team Champions. The first time Shelton Benjamin has held Tag Team Championship in WWE since September of 2003. Hell of a long time. But good for him. Happy for him. Now, so the Hurt Business is starting to really dominate Monday Night Raw, man. So this is kind of cool. And I'll say the exact same thing I said back in July at Extreme Rules. Do not give the New Day the titles back. I think this would be a great opportunity to possibly turn Xavier heel and have him maybe go after a mid-card title. I know both major mid-card titles, especially the US title right now, is held by Hill, but, you know, put a few months between them. You know, he has to have his blow-off feud with Kofi first. which could lead into WrestleMania. You never know. Which, by the way, I'm going to get to that later anyhow. Next up, for the Women's Tag Team Championship, Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler defend against the Raw Women's Champion, Asuka, and a mystery partner, which ends up being Charlotte Flair, because of course it is. Everybody on Earth predicted it was going to be Charlotte Flair. People have been dead for 4 years, climbed out of the grave, voted for Joe Biden, and then predicted Charlotte Flair was going to be in this fucking match. This was so... I hated it. It brought energy for the... It brought the whole fucking show almost down to complete basement level at this point for me. Because look, we sat back for 3 months. 3 goddamn months of this, building the story around Lana. It doesn't matter if fans were invested. It doesn't matter if it was getting over. You fucking put the time into it. You booked a pay-per-view match around it. And also, why wasn't this a table match? Wasn't this whole feud revolved around fucking tables? So Lana's out, it's not tables, and look, they fight a few minutes. Fucking, Charlotte hits her flippy fucking diamond cutter, pins Shayna Baszler, of course, because Nia Jax can't fucking do a job. She hurts everybody on the goddamn locker room, but God forbid she takes a 3 count. You have to have the real fighter, the chick who could choke out every goddamn person in the locker room, men included. She has to be the one to take the 3 count. Fuck Charlotte! Fuck Charlotte! Fuck this match! Fuck them win the tag team titles. It brings the whole show down. It pissed me off. Next match was a good match. Universal Championship. Roman Reigns defends against Kevin Owens. Another a TLC match. Another one. This was terrific. Of course, Jey Uso gets involved a lot. Kevin Owens just takes hellacious beating. Goes through tables. Takes the spear through a table in a corner at one point. It just looks like he's just dead. Kevin Owens just takes being after being, fighting back. Looks like he's absolutely unkillable. Hell of a performance from Kevin Owens here. Eventually, it looks like he's gonna win. Jey Uso causes one more distraction. KO has to drop down, hit him in a stunner. KO gets back up there. He gets punched in the nuts by Roman Reigns. Roman Reigns retains the championship. It was a great match. A phenomenal match. The 2 world title matches, the 2 TLC matches, were just excelsior. Absolutely terrific. Top notches. Some of the best pay-per-view performances of the whole year. But it's main event time. The main event is a Firefly Inferno match. The Fiend Bray Wyatt versus Randy Orton. Of course, this is a long storyline going back 4 years. And instead of the Inferno being around the ring, it's around the whole set, because we don't have a fan out here, so they don't bother, it's just, there's no announcers, they got the crane cams and drone cams, and the fires taking up the whole arena area. It's a few minutes into the match, it's not even a ref. A few minutes into the match before the fire actually kicks up, the Bray has to summon it, Kane style. This match is kind of plotting, and it's, I don't know, same thing with scaffold matches for me, the actual real life danger. Pro wrestling is dangerous enough. Do we really have to add fire to it? But, as it is, I don't know. This match, well, I'll get to the finish, because the finish goes, Bray Wyatt, Randy Orton pushes Bray Wyatt into the fire, Wyatt's on fire, and Orton slides into the ring, and Wyatt totally no sells being on fire because it's CGI fucking fire. Oh, the other fire is real, but the fire on Wyatt is not real. It was CG fire. Come on, y'all. Wyatt runs into the ring and runs right into an RKO, and in all honesty, CGI in pro wrestling is almost worth it just for the sake of seeing a guy take a diamond cutter while on fire. So Randy Orton wins the match. After the match, he pours more gasoline on Bray Wyatt, lights him on fire, and the corpse of the Fiend burns up as Orton poses and the show goes off the air. Well, last week, WWE had all-time record low ratings for Raw, and USA kind of put their foot down and said we want a more adult programming, so I guess murder. is a good way to do it. I'm really intrigued at seeing Monday Night Raw. I don't know, as far as this match goes, I don't know. The CG shit kind of took me out of it a bit. I mean, this is going to be a match fans talk about for years. If you saw my video back earlier this year during the Firefly Funhouse match, I wasn't really on board totally with that because I would have preferred a match with actual violence instead of just all storytelling. But at the same time, of all the, I've gone back and watched that match.